welcome to Rome.
Yes, and let us introduce you to
Valiant Lady 2.0.
Yes, welcome to the channel.
If you are new here, we are Travels with David.
And Mark, we bring you along for weekly cruise and travel related videos. And in this video, we're so excited. We are going to be checking out everything that's brand new on Valiant Lady now she's finished her dry dock glow up.
Yes, they don't call it a dry dock, they call it a glow up.
A glow up, yes. Stick around though, because we will be bringing you for our first ever experience of the brand new Ariya.
I'm very excited for it. We've said for a while that Virgin could have an Indian restaurant on board. And they've got one,
they've listened.
And we're going to try it today.
Yeah, so we'll bring you along, stick around for that. But before that, we'll show you everything else that's brand new on board this lovely ship.
Yes.
We do have to be transparent though with you all.
Yes, so this is a gifted trip from Virgin, so thank you to them.
Yes.
However, there are no stipulations on what we must say. We can still be completely open and honest with you all.
Yes, they have no editorial rights on this.
They do.
They have just invited us on to show you lovely lot everything that's new on the brand new Valiant Lady.
Yes.
We have paid for our own travel and our own hotels for this trip.
We have.
So yes.
That's the small print over with.
T's and C's, tick. Legal obligation, tick. Who fancies getting on board this lovely ship?
I do.
Launching in 2022, Valiant Lady was Virgin Voyages' second ship, and funnily enough, was our very first cruise. Over the last 4 years, she's taken sailors around the Mediterranean and Caribbean before heading back to the Fincantieri shipyard on the 9th of May 2026 for a 2-week glow-up. Everything from routine maintenance and repainting to a refresh of the iconic Mermaid, the addition of Tag and Pandora shops in the high street, and some major changes inside the ship took place before returning to service for this sailing on the 25th of May. There's a whole new lineup of happenings cast events too. We'll show you those in a future video.
And just like that, we're on board.
We are on board Val 2.0.
We are.
We boarded today on deck 4 actually.
Yeah, which is slightly unusual. So ordinarily, I think you come in on deck 7, so we would have had a sneak peek.
We would come straight into some new bits.
But we've come to Sip Lounge for our welcome drinks.
Yeah.
So we've come up the back entrance.
So to speak.
So far, we've only smelt the fresh paint and the new carpets.
Yes.
It's been 84 years, and I can still smell the fresh paint.
Yes, but we are sitting here itching to see the rest of it. It's in reaching distance.
It is.
So let's go and have an explore on the brand new Val 2.0.
Right in the heart of the ship, Valiant Lady's upper roundabout has been completely reimagined and now feels much more like the space you'd find on Brilliant Lady. Plush seating now surrounds the main staircase, the partitions have been removed, and the whole area feels brighter, more open and much more inviting. Natural light pours in through the huge windows, while cosy corners and tucked away seating areas give a warm, relaxed feel. There's even space for live entertainment, or to stream whatever's happening down in On the Rocks below. The biggest difference though, this no longer feels like somewhere people simply walk through. It's become a destination in its own right. Everywhere we looked, people were reading, playing games, having a drink, or simply sitting and enjoying the atmosphere. Sure Things has also been given a proper home. Previously, excursions were handled from what often felt like a temporary setup around that large red table. Now there's a dedicated hub where you can get help with bookings, ask questions, or meet up before heading off on your tour. Like Brilliant Lady, Draught House has been transformed into a space that feels connected to the roundabout rather than hidden away in a corner. What once felt like a venue aimed mainly at beer and whiskey drinkers now feels much more welcoming to everyone, whether you're here for a cocktail, a pint, or simply looking for somewhere to sit comfortably with a book. These window seats quickly became one of our favourite spots on Brilliant Lady, and we can already tell that'll be the case here too. It's comfortable, relaxed, and the perfect place to spend a sea day or an evening chatting with friends.
And what a lovely space it is.
It really is, isn't it?
Yes, and when you're sat here on an evening and you've got the music wafting up from On the Rocks, it just creates a lovely atmosphere.
So chilled, it's beautiful.
Just like it is on Brilliant.
Yeah, and the Draught House now gets used so much more, I feel.
Heading down the staircase into On the Rocks, we came to a change that has completely altered how this space feels. The curved wall that used to wrap around the entertainment area has gone, and the performance space has been moved further into the room, opening up the space and allowing more people to get a better view of the entertainment. Areas that previously felt tucked away now have clear views of the entertainment, whether that's a guest musician or the happenings cast performing on board. Towards the bar and roundabout side of the venue, things remain largely unchanged, but removing that wall has made the space feel noticeably bigger and much more connected. Our first thought was that the new setup leaves one of the ship's structural columns sitting quite prominently in some sightlines, but after seeing the venue in use, it really wasn't as noticeable as we'd expected, although the positioning of some performances may need a little bit of fine-tuning. Moving elsewhere around the ship and up to the galley, Valiant Lady has finally received Grounds Club 2. Serving specialty coffees, teas and cocktails, it creates a dedicated space that's separate from the hustle and bustle of the galley. With comfortable seating and easy access to food and drink, it feels like somewhere you could happily spend an hour catching up on work, reading a book, or simply watching the world go by. Out on deck, many of the spaces have also been refreshed, from freshly resurfaced and refinished decking to larger projects like the installation of steps to allow easier access to the pool, again bringing Valiant in line with Brilliant and Scarlet Lady. The pool now features 4 sets of stairs to allow easier entry into the shallower ends at each end of the pool. At each side of the main pool area, the triangular beds have now been removed, creating room for additional sun loungers and day beds in their place, meaning Resilient Lady is now the only ship with that original setup. Heading aft to the Athletic Club, Valiant Lady has gained one of our favourite additions from Brilliant Lady, the panoramic glass wraparound deck and daybed area. It gives the space a much more premium feel and creates an incredible spot for scenic cruising.
And it just really opens the space up, having all this glass and panoramic views.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And it sounds really simple just to say that the simple act of turning those sunbeds around so you're now facing out to that wonderful scenery rather than inwards is just genius.
From the Athletic Club, we're heading down to the dock on Deck 7 with its relaxed Mediterranean vibes and sweeping wake views. But we're here to check out the Juice Bar. Here, Juice C has received a refresh and updated menu, making it the go-to spot for fresh juices, smoothies and health shots. And if healthy living isn't top of your holiday agenda, Lick Me Till I Scream has picked up a small upgrade too, with comfortable bench seating replacing some of the previous chairs. Back in the cabins, there's a small change that a lot of people will appreciate. USB-C charging has finally arrived, with 4 ports now built into the desk area alongside the existing US and European sockets. The Manor has also seen some significant changes during the refit. The raised platforms around the stage have been removed, creating step-free access throughout the lower level of the venue. But the biggest difference comes from the removal of part of the dividing wall between the main room and the rear seating area. What was once a separate space now feels connected to the rest of the venue. The dance floor feels larger, the flow through the room feels better, and if you don't want to get involved with the dancing and want to sit a little further back, you still feel like you're part of the action. Leaving the Manor, it's time to step into Ariya for the very first time. While Razzle Dazzle still serves brunch during the day, by night, Valiant Lady now has an entirely new dining experience. Created in partnership with Maneet Chauhan, Ariya brings flavours from across India to Virgin Voyages, inspired by everything from traditional street food to regional dishes from around the country. As soon as you walk through the entrance and into the restaurant, it feels completely different to Razzle Dazzle. The bright, playful feel has been replaced with softer lighting, rich wood tones and much deeper colours, creating a much more intimate atmosphere for dinner. The large communal tables have also gone. In their place are semi-private dining spaces, framed by greenery and decorative screens, alongside cosy booths that feel perfect for a date night or a quieter meal. Even the larger tables feel much more tucked away, giving the whole restaurant a more relaxed and intimate feel. The second of the main dining spaces feels slightly brighter, but equally as inviting. The name Ariya also has a special connection to Virgin Voyages. Ariya was the name of Sir Richard Branson's great-great-grandmother, who lived in a port city in India and shared a passion for food, culture and exploration, the heart of every Virgin voyage. To begin the meal, we were served a welcome sip of Joljeera, a refreshing blend of tamarind, cumin, mint and lemon that's designed to wake up your palate before the food arrives.
Cheers. That is so full of flavour. I thought it was going to be lighter, or do I mean more watery than it is. It's quite strong, but really nice.
So our first taste of the cocktails in Ariya is about to happen. I've gone for a moon gimlet, which is a Tanqueray gin with lime and cardamom. It's a lovely glass. Well, not even glass, metal. Oh, it's lovely. Really limey, but fresh. Love it.
And I've gone for a Darbar Diva. Now, we've been told the meaning behind this is Darbar is what the royal family call it when they sit down to dinner together, and Diva means queen, which is very fitting because I am a queen. Anyway, this is vanilla vodka, apricot, lemon, sherbet and sparkling wine. Oh, yes. That is quite sweet, but very refreshing. I can see myself having a few of these. And I tell you what, one thing I am loving about this restaurant is the connections and the stories that they have. So Mark will have already told you about the connection to Richard, but we've just been told that these water glasses are made of brass, and that is because that is a traditional thing that they would have in India because they don't have refrigerators, so the brass would keep the water cold in their cups. So that's what we've got here.
For our first visit, we decided to try 4 of the 7 appetizers on the menu. First up were the Golgappa shots, a popular Indian street food consisting of a crisp hollow shell filled with chickpeas, chutneys and chilled spiced herb water.
Oh my god. I don't quite know how to describe that, but I love it. There's crunchy, there's smooth, there's liquid, but it's such an amazing blend of different flavours. And there's a slight heat. I'm not good with heat. In like there's spice taste and there's spice heat. This is not heat spicy, but there is a little bit of there at the back.
So our server, Aaron, is amazing, and he's given us so much information, but in a good way, about the dishes and about the, like David said, the stories and the connections. So next up we've got chicken 65. There are 65 spices in this chicken dish, and it was invented in 1865. So I'm giving you all the facts, but I'm going to try this now. It looks beautiful. Wow, that is incredible. I don't know if I can taste 65 different flavours, but there was so much there. Tiny spice, building, but not unmanageable. Give me a few minutes and I'll come back to you on that, because it is building, but it's not like blow your head off. Beautiful. Crispy on the outside, beautiful succulent chicken. Love it. I'm back. So on further investigations, it's the habanero aioli that is the spicy bit. And now I love spice, so for me it's fine. What did you think, David? Mouth it to me and I'll convey. So he said it's manageable, but it's the spiciest things he's had of the dishes so far. I love it.
Next came the Malabar coconut crab cakes, followed by the silky whipped paneer dip, served with garlicky naan and a pickled lime honey. I'll let David's reaction do the talking on that one. The cocktails were another highlight. David tried the Smoking Merchant, made with mezcal, tequila, lime, turmeric, mango and spices, while I went for an Indian twist on one of my favourites, the Bangalore Old Fashioned, infused with cardamom.
So when we're on Brilliant Lady and when we're in Rojo, my favourite cocktail is the El Capitan. This is my El Capitan, the Bangalore Old Fashioned, beautiful.
I feel like we're gushing over everything in the menu, but honestly, it's all incredible. I quite like that the lamb shank is a staple of Razzle Dazzle, so I quite like that there's something with a lamb shank on the menu. Falls off the bone, but there's the Indian spices in there as well. You can't go wrong.
That honestly is so tasty. So I purposely chose the vegetarian dish from the menu. Well, one of the vegetarian dishes from the menu. It's stunning. So it's the eggplant aubergine, so packed with flavour, with a layer of mushrooms and then a layer of sarg underneath, which is spinach leaves. But they are kind of reduced and cooked down so much that it's almost like a sauce, and it's so flavourful. And poppadoms. Oh, I love poppadoms. They add like a bit of a saltiness to the dish, a bit of a crunch. It's so tasty.
Well, first trip to Ariya completed.
Wow.
First thoughts?
Wow. What a beautiful space, first of all.
How on earth they have changed that so drastically in 2 weeks?
It's crazy.
I will not understand.
Yes. It's gone from... So, when we went to...
Let's stand in front of the Ariya
Yes.
side.
When we went to Rojo, we said, a step up, beautiful space. It still had, because it's the tapas vibe, it still has an element of shareable, not group dining, but the tables are more open.
Yes.
You know, your table is near to other people, maybe near to a bigger table. This is so intimate.
Yes, we were lucky. We got placed in one of the brand new booths.
Yes.
And honestly, you felt cocooned in the nicest possible way.
So good.
So good. So the space itself is beautiful. The food.
Stunning. So we haven't had everything yet.
No.
We've had some of it so far, and what we've had so far we have loved. So tasty. You saw our reactions as we were eating it. So good.
So good. However, we will be back. For us, that will be in 2 nights.
Yeah,
But for you, that will be right now.
Before we head back to Ariya, we're making a quick stop in Test Kitchen. On this sailing, we were lucky enough to attend a cooking class with Maneet, where she showed us how to make the Golgappa shots. We'll be sharing the full experience in a future video, but here are a few highlights.
And we're back.
We are back, yes, for our second visit to Ariya.
So for us, this is 2 days later. For you, this is immediately after we've just been.
It is, yes, because there was so much stuff on that menu that we really want to experience and share with you.
Yes.
But we just physically couldn't fit it.
Our bodies would not allow us for the food to enter.
Yes.
So we're back now. We're going to get completely different stuff than we got last time. So come with us and we'll show you what it's all about.
Yes.
Before that though, back in one of those private booths, we had the chance to film an interview for Virgin Voyages social channels, which was a lot of fun. But let's see if we make the final cut. Today we were trying the remaining 3 appetizers, starting with cauliflower tandoori kebab with a mint chutney.
Wow, the spices that are on the cauliflower are incredible. The mint dip that you get with it just adds to some freshness. That is such a light, refreshing starter. I'm having that again.
Not being seafood lovers, the curried mussels were a surprising hit for us. We finished the appetizers with the puffed rice chat, mixed with mango, avocado, tamarind and lime. Our server explained that in India, this is usually served in a paper cone, and if you come to this restaurant, it's a must order. Time to complete the mains with the fantastic tandoori shrimp, the pistachio crusted snapper, and the tandoori ribeye.
The flavour of that is so complex. There's layers of flavour that just keep hitting you. That might be my favourite dish on the ship.
We are not necessarily fishy people. That is beautiful. The pistachio, everything is so evenly balanced that it is fresh. It's just, it's stunning.
To finish, we tried 2 of the 5 desserts, and if you've been keeping count, we're rapidly running out of ways to describe the food. So David, what did you think of the cheesecake? And please don't say delicious.
There's a donut in it. So the cheesecake itself is delicious. The donut adds a different layer. And with the raspberry coulis, or the strawberry coulis, it's delicious. Another incredible meal at Ariya.
Yeah,
I think it has cemented itself as our favourite restaurant across the ships.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a couple of low ABV cocktails from Ariya.
We do.
Very much a fan.
Yeah. Mine's like weirdly like an IPA cocktail, but it's so tasty.
And I've gone for one that's got a 0 alcohol Tanqueray gin in. So mine's 7th Leaf.
Yeah.
And you've got a Bombay Bitters.
Yeah. Cheers.
Lovely. Second visit to Ariya completed.
Yes. And pretty much the menu we've completed as well on that sitting.
Yes, there's a few desserts we've not got round to, but all the starters, all the mains we have sampled.
We have, and there's not one thing.
There's no weak dishes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No. Favourite starter?
Oh, the Golgappa balls.
Mm-hmm. They are very tasty.
So nice. The sort of taste explosion in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't like cilantro, coriander.
I don't, but I actually quite enjoyed it.
Well, there you go.
Which I think just says a lot about the balance of flavours, because I think some of the mint that's in there helps, because I've got the gene that makes cilantro, coriander taste like soap, but having that balance of flavours really helps.
Yeah.
For me, it's the paneer dip.
Oh, that's so good.
A cheesy dip with a garlic naan, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. About mains.
Mains for me, lamb shank biryani was delicious.
Yes, the ribeye steak for me is beautiful. The flavours into that, like the rub on it.
Yeah.
So good. But if you're not a meat eater, the eggplant aubergine option
With mushrooms
and the spinach sauce was delicious. That was so nice.
Yeah. Also a shout out, because again, to talk about how good the flavours are, I'm not a seafood person, and I had the mussels, and the mussels were
so good.
delicious.
Yeah.
I would order that again.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think I'd ever say about mussels.
Well, there you go. Yes.
As you can see, I'm not big on mussels.
Dessert wise, cheesecake with the little surprise
Ball. Surprise ball.
donut. It's a surprise donut, right?
It's a donut ball.
Yes. It's so tasty.
It is. We previously said that the Basque cheesecake in Rojo on Brilliant Lady was our favourite dessert.
That one's just taken the cheesecake as top spot.
Oh no, dad jokes.
It's so nice. We would come into this restaurant just for that cheesecake.
And I should say as well, because that is our favourite dessert, this is now overtaken as our favourite restaurant across the fleet.
When Lucky Lotus launched on Scarlet, we were lucky enough to be there, and we loved that. That we said that had elevated the dining experience.
Mm-hmm.
Then Rojo, again, lucky enough to have been there at the start, it got even better, and now this has got even better than that. So well done to everyone involved.
Upping their game.
Yes, absolutely.
But we hope you've enjoyed coming along with us to experience all the changes on Valiant Lady 2.0.
Yes, we've absolutely loved experiencing it and sharing it with you.
We have. And it's lovely to see new life being breathed into the ships, and there being little variances across the fleet, so that now every time you go on a different ship, you get a little something different.
Yes, and it's not just this space, the bits around the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Just take things, up to that next level.
If you are still watching to this point, please consider giving the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. It really helps us out. Consider subscribing. There is a whole series coming up of our whole 6 days.
Our 6 days on board Valiant Lady.
Yes, showing our port days, some events that we're going on.
Yeah.
Lots of good fun. So hit the notification bell and you'll get notified when they come up.
Yes.
But if you have enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video next.
Yes, we'll see you over there if you do fancy watching some more of us. But if not, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.